We have now direct evidence that shows the 2022 election was rigged, and all data that comprise this evidence come from COMELEC itself. On March 23, 2023, COMELEC uploaded in its website what Chairman George Garcia claimed in the media as transmission logs. It deceitfully turned out to be reception logs, a list of VCM received in the May 9, 2022 election. We immediately questioned the starting time of the reception of 19:08:50 or 7:08 and 50 seconds because the COMELEC general instructions require 9 major tasks to accomplish before any VCM transmission can be made. It takes at least 19 minutes after the voting closed at 7 p.m. The earliest time that VCM transmission can be received by the transparent server would be 7:19 p.m. and not 7:08 p.m. Let us time how long it takes to print one copy of the national election results. Please take note that we will start at 39:05.
And automatically print the election returns. Ito na yung 8 copies ng ER natin. So 8 copies ng ER. Ito na po yun. So una niyang ipiprint is yung national election return. So ayan na po yung laman ng ER natin. Copies po ang ipiprint natin. Okay, ano yung indicator na tapos na yung isang part? Itong QR code.
Take note that the printing stopped at 40:05. That means that the whole process of printing one copy took exactly 1 minute. Now let us time how long it will take to print one copy of the local election result. Again, note that we will start at 41:00.
Ang next niya namang ipiprint ay yung 8 copies ng local election return. Ayan, nandiyan na yung governor, councilor, mayor, vice mayor. So 8 copies din po yan. Mas maiksi siya. So ang indicator again, natapos na yung ER, yung QR code.
Okay, it took 30 seconds to print one copy of the local election result. It takes 1 minute to print one copy of the national election result. The required printing of 8 copies would take, of course, 8 minutes. We saw that one copy of the local ER takes 30 seconds to print. The required printing of 8 copies would take 4 minutes. Since the other major tasks takes around 7 minutes to perform, the total time from closing the voting to the transmission of the ER would take 19 minutes. The earliest time that the transparency server will be receiving VCM transmissions of the ERs would be then 7:19 p.m. and not 7:08 p.m. as indicated in the reception logs shown by COMELEC on March 23, 2023. The printing of election returns always start with what we call the date time stamp. In this case, the date is May 9, 2022, and the time is 19:18:27 or 7:18 p.m. 27 seconds. It also contains the precinct ID, in this case 290-329. However, in the reception logs shown by COMELEC on March 23, this same ER was received by the transparent server at 19:11:21 or 7:11 p.m. 21 seconds. The transparency server received the ER of this precinct 7 minutes and 26 seconds before the ER was even printed, or before this ER was transmitted to the transparent server. How is that possible? Now, here is another ER from the BCM at DICT, Bantay, Ilocos Sur, with precinct ID 290-342, and this ER was printed at 20:34:15 or 8:34 p.m. and 15 seconds. This ER was received by the transparency server at 19:24:45 seconds or 1 hour 9 minutes 20 seconds before the ER was printed. This means that even before this ER was transmitted to the transparency server, it is already received 1 hour 9 minutes and 20 seconds before. Again, how did this happen? Another precinct at Barangay Putatan, Muntinlupa, printed this ER at 19:27:01 or 7:27 p.m. and 1 second. This ER was received by the transparent server at 19:24:29 seconds or 2 minutes 32 seconds before the ER was printed. In other words, the transparent server received this ER before the ER was even transmitted. Another case of a VCM at Barangay Alabang Village, Muntinlupa, that printed this ER at 19:41:18. And this same ER was received by the transparent server at 19:39:11 or 2 minutes 7 seconds before the ER was printed, or even before this ER was transmitted. And this ER was printed at 20:27:1. And again, the transparent server received this same ER at 19:47:37 or 39 minutes 24 seconds before the ER was printed. Again, this ER was printed at 22:03:39 seconds. And again was received by the transparent server at 20:40:20 seconds, or 1 hour 59 minutes, almost 2 hours before the ER was printed. This ER was printed at 19:52:28 and received by the transparency server at 19:20:58, or 31 minutes 30 seconds before the ER was printed. And this ER from Barangay Silangan, Rizal was printed at 23:33:20 seconds. The transparency server received this same ER at 23:10:12 seconds, or 23 minutes 8 seconds before the ER was printed. This transparent server was receiving or was bringing out results of the election to the public faster than what the VCM are transmitting to it. Miracles do happen in Philippine election. We all know that when you transmit a message, the receiver will always receive it after you have transmitted it. Never, it will be a miracle if the receiver received your message before you even transmitted it. On October 18, 2022, COMELEC came out with this accumulated VCM transmission graph that they showed the public in a forum. It is the COMELEC who plotted this graph, the blue line presented here. And they even proudly said that they have improved the automated election system, that the transmission peaked at the second hour. But this is in sharp contrast with the transparency server count that peaked in the first hour as shown on May 9 at 8:02 p.m. And in fact, the logs, the reception logs shown to the public that was uploaded in the website of COMELEC really showed that the transparent server peaked at the first hour, and the 20 million, which we thought was unbelievable, was really counted in the 8:02, no? That was clearly shown in the reception log given to us. But they could not explain why in the 2 hours between 7 and 9, the transparency server was counting more ERs received than what are actually being transmitted by the VCM. And that can be explained by the ERs that we showed in the previous slides, where some of those VCM transmitted in a later hour but were included in this 2-hour period. All election returns carry with it the data, the number of voters who actually voted in that precinct, in this case in Barangay San Andres Tarlac, with precinct ID 691,745. And here it is shown that the numbers of actual voters is 681, which correspond exactly to what was shown in the transparency server, 681, coming from the precinct with the same ID number. However, the transparency server received it about 2 hours before this VCM transmitted to it. 2 hours. Alam na nila kung ano ang resulta nitong presintong ito. 2 oras. This means that the transparency server or someone manipulating it exactly knows what the different VCM will be transmitting to it so that they can preload the transparent server to make the first hour count very, very big, no? And that first hour count of 20 million already determines who are the winners, no? Tapos ng boxing nung first hour na yon. But you can see here that it is really fabricated. In other words, how did the transparent server know 2 hours before the transmission that this precinct will be transmitting 681? And in the last page of the reception logs, where it is shown that there were 106,023 VCM that transmitted. The last one transmitted at 03:23:35 seconds of May 25. And of course, remember that the first transmission was done at 7:08 p.m. But in this last page of the uploaded logs, this is this suspiciously, unbelievably, where result, no data, where 3 VCM in the same, almost in the same locality have exactly the same number of voters who voted in these 3 precincts at about, say, it's almost a matter of seconds, no? 1,000 voters actually voted in these 3 precincts. Now, this is the result of an official reception log that COMELEC would like us to believe when it has so many questionable data in it. And we have been asking for transmission logs, no? So that we can verify the data that was shown in the transparent server. But how come COMELEC does not give us the transmission log? How come they don't even allow or won't allow the telcos to show us the transmission that passed through their network through the call detail records of the telcos? That is a big question that until COMELEC will answer, then the conclusion that we can only get is that the 2022 election was rigged.
Bunyog, bunyog, halikan na kasama ka. Bunyog, kapag buklod ay may pag-asa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, isa ang pananaw. Sa bagong Pilipinas ang bunyog isisigaw. Bunyog.